I got involved in self-development at a very young age. At around 15, 16 years old, I knew I wanted to be a life coach, and I surrounded myself in the industry. I worked for a company that sold motivational tapes. I was around other people that were making a living and a career in motivational speaking in the whole self-development industry. And I even gave my own seminars at a very young age. And it's something that really just clicked with me. It really resonated with me. And I went to my first seminar was Brian Tracy. I went to Tony Robbins, the Fire Walk. I did extended, week-long, 2-week-long seminars. And I just had a real hunger would be the best way to describe it. I couldn't consume the content fast enough. And at the time, it was a way to boost my ego, try to get ahead, become more successful, become famous, become rich, accumulate material possessions. And what we consume, we become. And I consumed a lot of that content. And I even made tapes that at the time that I would sell to friends and family. And I just had a real excitement and passion about it. And there are many wonderful things about the whole self-development industry, but people don't generally talk about the darker side of it. And the darker side of it was what I experienced is never feeling like I was doing enough, never feeling I was disciplined enough, never feeling like I was using my time efficiently enough. I wasn't working hard enough. I wasn't productive enough. I wasn't successful enough. And the takeaway I would have is it's my fault. Something's wrong with me. I'm lazy, or whatever label I put on myself. And it really kind of beat me down and discouraged me growing up, even though I was able to start some successful businesses and make some money and pursue something that I really enjoyed doing, there always felt like I was doing it out of the wrong motivation because I was falling in with the self-development cookie cutter stereotype. Be productive. Like I said, be disciplined, work, rah, 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 become someone, make something yourself, become successful. And it wasn't who I was. It just did not resonate with me. And we all have different levels of drive. Someone like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or some of these people that we tend to idolize in the self-development industry are just massive workaholics. And we talk about alcoholic being a bad thing, but yet workaholic seems to be glamorized or glorified. Oh, he's such a hard worker. He works 80 to 100 hours a week. And in what world is that okay or healthy or good for sustaining a family, a marriage, or having a happy, fulfilling life or relationships? It just wasn't my world. It did not resonate with me. And that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to really discover who I am and what I want out of life. Taking a lot of what I learned, because there are some very good things with self-development and psychology, but I'm going to learn and apply them through life experiences. And that's when I started to travel and see the world. And some of my clients, we've taken them from point A, where they're at a job that they don't like, feeling suffocated, feeling confined, feeling caught in the system or the matrix, and just not having that sense of fulfillment. And they're only on that path is because that's what everybody else is doing, and that's all we see, and that's what usually all we know. And there's a lot of fear mongering from family, good, well-meaning family and friends saying, if you do this, you drop out of college, you don't do this, you don't do that, your life is going to be a failure and you're going to starve and be homeless on the street. And I got some of that. I got a backlash with my lifestyle and wanting to be a vagabond and just travel the world and just have incredible and amazing life experiences and push myself out of my comfort zone, more importantly. And that's really how we discover who we are, is when we get out of our comfort zone. Reading the books and all these other things that we do are fine, but if we are not applying it, if we're not living in it, if we're not integrating it into our lifestyle, it becomes just another form of entertainment. And a lot of the self-development that we read is entertainment and appeals to our need for immediate gratification, short-term rewards, the immediate change, lose weight, build muscle, get rich, in 3 months, 6 months, a year. And what I've learned is change takes a long time, and it's a very slow, gradual process, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of work. And many people don't want to put in that effort and that work. And when they hold themselves up to the template of who they think they should be, especially if they've consumed a lot of this self-development, and even it's kind of contaminated social media with all these, go do it, and you can do it, and you can achieve anything you want, and work. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, and while everybody's sleeping, I'm working in order to succeed. And we start feeling bad about ourselves. And one of the things as a coach in dealing with my clients is it's almost like getting someone out of a cult. We have been so brainwashed and conditioned to believe a certain way of living is the only way. And it's the only way that's going to make us happy. And that's the secure, safe, standard path of the college, the degrees, get a secure job, on and on. And it doesn't even have to fit that template. But the main thing is make money, get stability, have security, stay within your comfort zone, live life more safely. That's kind of like the underlying message. And most importantly, chase external things. Chase things that will make other people look favorably upon you. And one of the greatest things that my journey has taught me is how freeing it is when you don't care what other people think about you, when you are not attached to living out that cookie cutter recipe that the whole self-development industry wants us to makes us believe that that's who we should be and that's how we are going to be happy. And when I'm working with clients, and especially a lot of them that have watched a lot of YouTube videos, with that type of theme or read books, they're comparing themselves to a fantasy. They're comparing themselves to an image that really doesn't exist or exists for very few people, because most of us are going to live very ordinary lives, very, very basic. We're going to be right in that sweet spot, of the bell curve, where it's like we're not going to be at the top, we're not going to be at the bottom, we're going to be in that sweet spot. And there are obviously exceptions, and there are obviously people that are below, down towards the bottom as far as what they accomplish or what they achieve in their lives. And I think I heard Elon Musk says he never reads self-development books. And I feel like if you are that type of personality type where you have just a high level of drive, or you have a workaholic approach to your life or mindset, you don't need all that artificial cheerleading from these self-development books and try to boost yourself up. What ends up happening is we compensate because we think we're supposed to be here and our lives are here, and then we try to use all this superficial self-development life changes in order to succeed or in order to make ourselves feel better about ourselves. And what I gained such peace, and I'm able to work with clients and, like I said, get them out of this brainwash or like cult mindset that you don't need all those things in order to feel good about yourself. You don't need the approval of other people. In fact, that's what's holding you down. And when you start freeing yourself of caring what other people think or living out a cookie cutter template, you start feeling the joy of what it means to be alive and the joy of living an authentic life. And no amount of money, no amount of fame, popularity, success can really replace that. And it's living a congruent life. And we all have to figure out what that means to us as individually. A self-help book or self-help video cannot give that to you. And I've had clients, I have one client recently who just this week, this has really come up with a couple of my, actually 3 of my clients that really have had some tremendous breakthroughs in that they were following the traditional path of what was expected of them, and they were, very involved in the self-development and self-help. And what happens is they beat themselves up all the time because it's like the 2 most common things that I hear in coaching. These themes is I'm not doing enough, and I'm not successful enough. I'm not good enough would be more like it. Not doing enough, I'm not good enough. And when you free yourself from that, you can start figuring out what makes me happy. And for one of my clients, she does woodworking. And it's amazing to see now that she's shifted her life to allow her to do something that she really enjoys and brings her tremendous amount of happiness. It's incredible to see the difference in her energy, in her smile, in her overall life satisfaction, and accepting who she is. I recommended a really good book. It's called Party of One, and it's talking about people that don't fit in or don't need a lot of friends or a lot of social engagement or interactions. They're okay with solitude, more of a loner personality type. And she really resonated with that book. And even that freed her from the obligations. Look, I should be socializing. I should be, getting together with people, even though going to parties, even though deep down I really don't want to. And you just see it's like the balls and chain and the heaviness and the weightiness has just been shed when you start living a life that is true to you. And oftentimes we just get so much external pressure. I have another client who got a lot of pressure from family and even, from herself that she should be, making money, pursuing her career, evolving and advancing in her career. And what resonated with her is just to go travel, and just go travel around the country, go to national parks, go to beautiful spots, meet new people, and live a simple, joyful life. And it's really exciting to see the transformation when we free ourselves from obligations, expectations, pressure, should, must, have to. And a lot of that does come from the self-help industry, because the underlying message is you're not good enough as you are, and that you need to become better. You need to follow these guidelines and these principles. You need to have a habit tracker. You need to write a daily to-do list. And I'm not saying those are bad things, but they're not for everybody. And you need to read these books, and you need to exercise X amount of time and get yourself into the gym, and you need to eat clean, and you need to cut out all screens. And again, all of these things are okay, but they make us feel, you need to lose weight. The list can go on of all these things that we should or need to be doing. And I think that's the point, is the self-help industry is highlighting all of our weaknesses, all of our flaws, or more importantly and more accurately, things that we're really not excited about, things that we really don't want to do, things that are not high value or important to us. And when you free yourself from that, you can start dancing to your own drummer. You can start doing things that bring you joy. I have another client who's pursuing art, and that absolutely brings her a tremendous amount of joy. And while pursuing a career to pay the bills until she gets enough experience and skills in art. And that would get a lot of negative criticism. Oh, artists always starve, never be successful. But I am able to see, because I've been working with these clients for a while, because it's not easy. It's not an overnight change. And I tell clients, coaching is not a good coach. It's not a quick fix. It's something that we have to do some deep inner work and evaluate your value system, or reevaluate your value system, and really coax out who you are and what's most important to you, and more importantly, what you're willing to pay the price or make the sacrifice for. Because a lot of the things that we chase or believe we should be doing, we don't have it in us to achieve it. One, maybe we're just too lazy. Maybe we just don't have the drive or the energy. We don't have the motivation. It's just not important to us. And that's why really cutting out all of that stuff and tapping in to your inner guidance system, your intuition, your spirit, whatever you want to call it, instead of getting all using external sources like all these books and social media and all these things in comparison, not using that as a reference point or even approval as a reference point to the person or the individual, the human being that we should be. Discipline is great. Willpower is great. Go, go, go. That can also be good, in certain times. But what is it that we all want? Deep down, what we all want is just to be at peace. We want to be content. We want to be satisfied with our lives. And when you start realizing that a lot of the things that we read in these books are leading us astray, and they're not even required in order to be fulfilled, joyful, and satisfied with your life and enjoy your life, it's really liberating, because it makes you realize how little you need in order to be content or in order to be satisfied and fulfilled. So it's really about stripping away, because we get bombarded with so much garbage, so much outside external influence that are trying to control the person we are, influence the person we are, to become workaholics, or to become worker bees, or to become consumers, or to become people pleasers, to become approval seekers, dancing like a puppet to whatever gets us approval. And it leaves us empty, and it leaves a void. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. If you like this message, please share the video, like and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, there's a PayPal link below, and I offer life coaching at very affordable prices. And some people say, oh, my life is fine, or, I don't need life coaching. We all could benefit from it. It just makes has a tremendous transformational power in one's life. And that's about it. Appreciate all your comments. I read all your comments. And thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.